Hey, thank you so much for tuning in today and welcome to my podcast studio. Before we start on today's episode, I just wanted to take a quick moment to say I am truly grateful for you being here. It means the world to me and my guest for us to be able to share our conversation with you. If you do like what we're talking about, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the like button. And if we do talk about something that you either agree or disagree with, please put it in the comments. We would love to hear your feedback. Also, please don't forget, I do a lot more than just podcasts. So every Tuesday, I'll put out a drum playthrough. I'll also documenting my journey on writing my solo album, which will feature a lot of guests that have been on the podcast. I'm also putting up a lot of tips and tricks of stuff that we do talk about in some of the podcasts, like insights that I get from some of the guests that share their journey in the music industry. Once again, thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. And again, please don't forget to subscribe. Let's get into it. Hey boys, I just ran the intro here, and it actually disappeared to me that I actually forgot to change the logo as it bubbles up to Midnight Furnace. So for everybody watching here and they saw this little logo that sort of popped up, this is not 46 Brigade. So let's just make that certain. Like,
couldn't even get the logo right.
I know. Well, I've got a T-shirt though, so at least we can do a little drop here.
Midnight Furnace.
Midnight Furnace here. Jake and Alex.
How many months you had to plan this?
I don't know, man. But that's again. Also, I do apologize on behalf again. My voice is sort of, I don't know, missing in action at the moment. So if I do sound like I've been sort of smoking all night or have been out a big bender, that's not the case. But yeah. Anyway, how are you guys going?
Good.
Yeah, going real well, man. Going real well.
Good, man. I'm going pretty good too, man. And thanks so much for the little contribution to my wardrobe here.
Well,
that
we
is.
had the red shirt tonight, obviously, because you got the logo wrong. So.
That was just a little added bonus here. We can.
So we're 46 Brigade tonight,
Yeah.
Are we?
So we can just say here, look. So here you go. Like maybe it's better in profile here. I don't know, but.
$20 a shirt, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a good. I take any opportunity, man. Like, always be selling. You know.
I think maybe for you, maybe 50.
Yeah. Oh, there's a little there's a penalty jar somewhere here. We're gonna tip in, man.
Penalty jar right there. There you go.
Yeah, wicked, man.
Studio looks nice, though, man.
Thanks, man. It's had a small upgrade since you guys were down here, because we were talking about that too. You were down here and record some stuff next door at Jay's room, but it had actually, for everyone who wants to see that, we got a little projector hanging up here that can project over on the big screen over behind Jake here. I tried that on 46 Brigade on Monday, but it was like way too distracting because it just does its own thing and it's delayed and everything, and everybody sort of start looking behind here. So we're gonna turn it off today and so we can just be really nice here and
real
cozy.
Intimate.
Really intimate.
Good. You actually could have used our logo on that tonight, eh?
I could actually have put the logo quite comfortably.
But then everyone doesn't think they were 46 Brigade. So.
That's it. Well, I don't think they think you're 46 Brigade anymore. You're no offense to the 46 Brigade boys, but you guys are way younger. Probably a lot more.
No.
A lot more handsome too, you know. The big beard as well.
More hair.
A lot more. I think you have more. I think you got more beard than the boys have hair.
No, I did watch their podcast the other night. It was quite good.
Yeah, it's entertaining. I've obviously I used to play with Craig back in the early days, and what is that? 8 years ago now. And the band sort of had a whole revamp, release a new album and stuff, and have sort of formed another band here. But absolutely amazing album. Vastly different to what you guys are doing. But absolutely amazing album. Very, very professional musicians as well. So I'm very fortunate. I'm very lucky. It's really, it's almost like nostalgic for me to sort of try and play with them again and fill in.
If
and
the 46 Brigade boys are watching, they could use our logo.
Maybe. Look, I'll make this happen. Like, you guys can swap some merch and do share each other's.
I think maybe we should swap some shirts at least.
Yeah, you should, man.
Maybe organise that.
Yeah.
Well, this is the first time I'm hearing of this band, so I might have to go check them out.
That's it. Well, again, like I said, it's a very, 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 very good band, but quite different to the style of music that you guys are playing. So
Yeah.
a little thing that I wasn't aware of just before we started here, I noticed that obviously Jake is the drummer. Most people that know you guys would obviously know who's who, but I didn't know that you're a drummer too.
Yeah, I've been playing off and on for over 20 years. So, but yeah, I'm just obviously not my primary instrument, but I do have electronic kit at home that I play around with. Had Drumeo subscription for a year, so just like,
wicked. Good old Jared.
Yeah.
Jared Falk.
Yeah.
Falk.
Yeah.
Falk. Yeah.
Yeah. So
how are you finding Drumeo?
Yeah, no, it's got some awesome content. Like, yeah, and it's sort of, it's pretty just techniques and like ghost notes and just all sort of things that you just like, unless, a sort of hobby drummer will just go dun, 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 but when you actually start delving into the more techniques and the little subtleties and stuff, and then you start hearing it more when you're actually listening to music, and you're like, oh yeah, so you go, oh, that drummer's really fucking awesome, whereas before I thought, oh yeah, it's all right, but then
he's built a very one of a kind platform there. I think that's, now I think about it, I think that's probably the only platform in the world of its kind.
My favorite part of Drumeo actually is the old lady that plays Disturbed.
Yeah.
Bodies.
She's
is it Bodies?
No,
down with the sickness.
Yeah. And like, she's tapping on the steering wheel in the video, and then you see her walk into this shop, and they're all looking at her like, oh yeah. And then she gets in the Drumeo studio and just starts bashing it out like an absolute champion.
But she's got a lot more videos in there on Drumeo. Yeah,
I've seen a lot of hers.
Yeah.
Now. Like I've never heard of her. I don't know who she is, but man, she is super cool.
It's
cool.
Again, it's so cool, like so unique.
Doesn't matter what age you are.
No. But that's music in general. Like again, I've said that so many times. Like music, it's it's timeless. It's ageless as well.
Yeah.
Because it obviously comes down to what you like and how you interpret it and all that. And whoever listens to it at the other end, no idea. If you're a boy or a girl, or black or white, or rich or poor. Yeah, I guess it doesn't matter. It's such a beautiful language.
Well, there's even like I've seen some videos going around YouTube and Facebook at the moment of like a couple of people. They look like they're obviously in like a third world country, and they're using what they have and what they can to make some drum videos. And some of them are absolutely amazing. There was one, I think it was some sort of Asian background that he had, I think maybe, and he's playing on this really shitty cheap kit, but like his style and his feels and like his everything that he'd done was absolutely amazing, and he got absolute like actual international status. He's been donated a drum kit. I think it was. Do you know who I'm talking about? You haven't seen the video, have you?
No, I know the sort of videos that you mean, because sometimes I just see them and just like it's just bashing on this piece.
I was about to say they literally play on like trash cans and.
How did you learn to play that? Like I don't know, just had so much time in your hand, obviously, and just I don't know how they access the content to. Or they just worked it out on their own, or
well, that's again. I mean, you gotta use what you have. Like what would you get given? Again, if you don't have, like a really fancy, schmancy, high end kid, it just proves you can still make wicked music with rubbish, pretty much, like literally.
You don't need like a really good drummer or like a great drummer doesn't need a $20,000 drum kit.
Nope.
All they need is a couple of pots and pans in front of them. And even these street busters going around with like the plastic drums and the pots and pans and stuff like that, they sound 10 times better than some of the world famous drummers going around on these little bloody pots and pans. And you listen to it, it's like, why are they not big? Why are they not out there yet? But like through YouTube and everything like that, Facebook, like, you can see those videos and you just sit there and be like, I sit there. I want to quit drums.
But that's also like I reckon like when you see those videos, you see like sometimes less is more, and again and again as we spoke about with that like with the lady from Drumeo, like when you see those guys that are playing on something super basic, like if they're playing on like an upside down paint bucket or something like that, or and like some other bits and scraps that they find, that's in many ways a lot more interesting to watch than if you see some guy just banging on like a full like eight camera multi-angle drum video, where everything sounds like super cool. And then you see this guy who just got these mad chops and like crazy rudiments and just literally just plays in like a backyard and somewhere in Kenya or something, man.
Yeah, exactly.
It's nuts, man. Yeah.
It's crazy, man. I love that stuff though.
Yeah.
It's good to see shit like that. But some of them just put you to absolute shame. It's like
yeah, they do. But again, it's like a lot of it's obviously like practice. Like so, some of them would have just spent their whole like their life jamming.
I don't practice anywhere near enough.
But again, I like practice again is one of those things that I'm the same. I literally I don't really practice. I just play. Which is actually something that I got after I did a chat to a guy, the drummer from, I don't know if you guys know the band Vola. It's a Danish-Swedish prog gent band. It's like super cool. So I had a chat with him about just over a year ago, and he brought up with something that just has stuck with me ever since. Because I asked him, because he's a phenomenal drummer. So I asked him, I said, man, well, like, what's your like practice routines, and like how often do you practice? And he said something super cool, man. He said, I don't really practice unless we have to go on tour, and then I'll just go back and just run over the songs so they really sort of sit tight. But other than that, I'd rather want to spend my time create. So it's literally just create music. So again, instead of you having to sit down and get really good at your chops, he said, look, I've practiced for many years. Now I'm at the stage where okay, I'm comfortable within my bubble, like on the chops I have, and then I'd rather just use that to actually create more music. And I thought that's so cool. So that's literally just stuck with me. And I actually just started a couple of drum lessons to get better just before that chat, and I just canceled them. It's like, nah, never mind. That's exactly what I needed. But speaking about practice and drums and stuff, like how did you guys start playing? And I'm talking about like actually picking up the instrument back in the early days, or whenever early days were.
I think I first played a harmonica when I was about 5 years old, trying to play
harmonica. That
Blue
is wicked.
Sky Mine by Midnight Oil. And then after that, it was probably keyboard lessons for about a year when I was about 7 or 8. And then after that, when I was about 10 years old, I went to guitar lessons at school, just playing acoustic and just learning D, G, A, whatever. Just so I could play all the songs we played at assembly, and and then just sort of noticed after a few months of that everyone else that started at the same time as me was like, "Oh, how do you do that again?" And then I ended up being like, hang on, I'm showing everyone now what to do. I was just like, maybe I should continue with this. And then, and then I was like, it's Crowded House. I think it was my sort of favorite band around that sort of time. And then it wasn't until my brother's mate from across the road came over with the Black Album. And he put it on the stereo. He just like cranked it up, and I'm just like, fuck me. Yes.
One of the best albums.
I was just like, whoa. And then I was just like, fuck Crowded House, fuck all this. And then, it was just a Metallica obsession for probably about 3 years after that. Just absolutely that was just my whole life. Just James Hetfield and Kirk Hammett. Just learnt everything. Just Kill 'Em All, Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets, Justice for All, Black Album, all front to back. And I'd just come home from school. I wouldn't hang out with mates, so I'd just come home, just press play, just play Kill 'Em All front to back.
So what was it? What was it that gave you that deep connection?
I don't know. I just loved music in general. I think my mum, and mainly my mum's sort of taste in music. She was a big Black Sabbath fan back in the day. She used to listen to Black Sabbath on vinyl. when it came out in the 70s, and then just listen to it. And then my nan, so her mum was just like, turn off that rubbish.
Noise pollution.
So yeah, just have it on the headphones. So I guess that's where I got my sort of love of heavier music from. And yeah, I just engulfed my life basically, and that was all I really gave a shit about.
Yeah, we could.
Yeah, and then after that was got one of the Kerrang magazine.
Nice.
And they had one of the compilation CDs from 1998, 99. And had like Korn, Got the Life, System of a Down, No, like shit off their first album, and Slayer, Bit of Peace and stuff. And I'm just went down the rabbit hole further, and then just Slipknot's self-titled album came out. My brother was listening to that downstairs. I'm just like, this is heavy as fuck. Like 13 years old. It's like I just so yeah, it was just kept getting heavier from there, and then it's just like Morbid Angel, Suffocation, fucking Deeds of Flesh, and just
nice.
Yeah, just obsessed with death metal, and just That was me basically.
It's funny. Like, I share almost the same story. Like, and I got introduced to Metallica through Enter Sandman and the Black Album in general, and then worked my way back from there. But yeah, as soon as I heard that, that was like you had that sort of.
Yeah.
What is metal? Like, I must check it out. And I never went that far down the spectrum. Like, I did listen to a little bit to Morbid Angel, but that was more just to say you had like an upside down crucifix and shit, like just a D side and stuff. But all the stuff was mainly like I sort of got stuck in the whole grunge genre.
Oh yeah.
Alice in Chains and Stone Temple Pilots and.
Wait, this guy absolutely smacks out Man in the Box. He's got me addicted on the song Man in the Box by Alice in Chains, because he plays in another band, cover band, Accelerate. And the first time I saw him was up at the Baltimore, and I was sitting right at the front, and then they started Man in the Box. I'd never heard of it. And then like he made that song his bitch that night.
Nice.
No, seriously, as a vocalist,
Yeah, that is
I'm
that.
not a vocalist, but like I imagine that's an extremely hard song to belt out because it's got just notes up here and up here, and he just literally blew it out of the park. And to this day, right now, I think that was back in maybe November or something last year that you guys maybe played your first gig, was it?
Yeah,
somewhere there. But like since that day, I've listened to that song every fucking day.
Really?
Literally every day.
Nice. It's a mad song, and again, like one of the strongest choruses out of that decade.
Yeah. I have certain songs that I have to listen to every day. It's weird.
He's got everyday playlist.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's Man in the Box, a band that comes here all the time, Amber Down, with their song Hole in the Floor.
Ooh, shout out to Dan.
Yeah, Dan, my man. And then there's Silent Night with Power Metal Supreme. Absolutely love that song. And then also, I don't know if anyone's ever heard of Shinedown.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
Shinedown,
absolutely.
Yeah,
American band.
Sound of Madness.
Yep.
Absolutely love that song too. But yeah, like when he played that song, I was absolutely blown away. It was absolutely crazy. I was like, oh yeah, man. And now, yeah, every day I have to listen to it. I'm not happy unless I listen to it. You know what I mean? It's weird. And then I have like little songs that's weird. I listen to some Post Malone. It's quite strange, eh? I don't mind his shit, but...
I think we're going to wrap it up now.
Yeah. It's quite weird, but... No, look, that's the thing. When you hear a song, like with me, I hear certain songs and I get addicted to them. And I have to listen to them every fucking day. Otherwise, I'm just... I can't sleep. I can't do this. I can't do that. I can't function properly.
Well, what are you going to do if that list just keeps growing? Like it's getting longer and longer. I know exactly what you mean. Like I use some songs in certain situations. Like if I need to do this type of work, I need this type of music to empower me. If you go to the gym and I want to lift heavy weights, I want to listen to something brutal. You know what I mean? And
the song "I Want You."
Which one?
"I Want You."
Who's that by?
Savage Garden.
I don't.
Wait.
I literally think you need to leave. Actually.
No, what? What? It's an amazing song. Like shit, come on. Like it's funny with that song. I used to work for a speedway team back in the day, building their speedway cars, and on the side, my boss wanted a push car, but instead of using they usually use four wheelers as a push buggy, but he wanted it was a Suzuki Jimny that he wanted built. So I built that, and because it was our main driver was Fitzy from 96 FM, and so because of the 96 FM sponsorship and everything like that, he wanted a lot of sound, so I had to build him a sound system in the car as well. And when I built that, this thing was absolutely ridiculous. This car was stupid. And the first song that we tested, I turned on the radio and came on "I Want You" by Savage Garden, and with like the massive bass behind it and everything like that, and the treble, it absolutely pumps, and it just got in my head, and now I can't get it out. So yeah, that's part of my playlist as well.
But isn't that funny that some songs are so directly linked to, like, obviously I'm assuming every time you hear that song it brings you back to that moment.
Yeah.
It's funny how some songs have that, ability to just instantly remind you of something that happened in your life. Good or bad, or something, maybe just a sporadic event. You turn on the car and that song is there. Actually sounds good.
But I've got even like a lot of like local bands as well that have songs stuck in my head. Like my mates from As Light Decays, Chaos and Order is one song that just gets stuck in my head. Cage the Hate, Lindsay, my boy. How you going, Lindsay? I know you asked me to do a shout out. How you going, brother?
Oi!
Hey.
Mission accomplished.
Yeah. And there's certain things that get stuck in your head. And another one is Drowning by ATF. That's on my playlist every day as well. All This Filth. It's like
sick band, man. I saw them for the first time on the weekend. I went down to Metal United.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Once they're in my head, I just can't get them out, man. And it's like every day I have to listen to these certain songs to either start or finish my day. Otherwise, I just get cranky. I get really cranky.
That's so cool. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Or I'm assuming as that list sort of builds, like you have to sort of get up earlier and earlier and earlier. If you need to.
You just have to put it on when you go to sleep. Just have it on quietly. Just
Well, no, it's because I watch YouTube pretty much nearly every day, and pretty much all of those songs are like automatically brought up on my YouTube list. Bam, there it is. The first one that actually comes up is Man in the Box, and then Amber Down's next to that, and then Silent Night, and then bloody Chaos and Order from As Light Decays, and Cage of Hate, All This Filth. Like they're already all there, so I just like bam, 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 and
That's so good, man.
But you're putting shit on me for liking Savage Garden.
I
like anything that sounds good, as long as it's real music. Probably the Post Malone thing is probably
it's taking a bit far.
Yeah. I think I'll have to agree to disagree.
Probably going to get a lot of shit for that. You fucking like Post Malone, do you?
Yeah. So I was about to say to the ones watching, you can obviously engage. Like we can put something in the text box, and we can actually see what you're saying. If you do want to chime in, or if you want to comment on Jake's taste in music, I'd love to hear from it.
Yeah. Roast that bitch.
Roast it.
No, come on, man. Don't be a hater now. Shit.
Don't be a hater.
Yeah, don't be a hater.
Well, you could, if you want to sort of make up for it, and I know obviously I'm way behind here on the need to make up for it with the little logo intro here, but you could do a really cool metal version of I Want You.
No.
Okay,
actually,
all right. Let's move on.
Versions. I've talked to Lucas. I don't know if I've talked to you about it or not. Actually, I don't know if we have or not. But me and Lucas have been talking about doing a metal version of Twinkle Twinkle Little Star.
That sounds very disturbing.
Yeah, Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Well, it's like, what kid doesn't love Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, right? And when I told Lucas about it, he's like, well, that's my daughter's favourite song. Our lead guitarist, Lucas, he's had a kid just the end of last year. And he's like, yeah, that's my daughter's favourite song. Let's fucking do it. So I was like, okay. I don't think I've told you about it yet, have I?
No.
She'll
I
she'll never be the same
I don't
again.
know if I can sing those. Like, that's it's a bit hard.
If you can, if you can sing "Man in the Box," I'm sure you can sing
Yeah.
"Twinkle Twinkle Little Star."
There's something going out there.
Watch this space.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yeah.
We
coming.
might do it, we might not. No, we have talked about it because Cam knows about it. Our bass player Cam also plays in Silent Night, who we're playing a gig with coming up too. But yeah, he knows about it.
Yeah, no, come up with a fucking sick fucking breakdown. Yeah.
Twinkle, twinkle.
All right. You never know. When we have a chat next time, we might have a Twinkle Twinkle Little Star death metal version.
No, not death metal.
Grunge version, whatever.
Yeah.
Well, speaking about that and speaking about sort of you and your music and stuff, it would probably a good way to sort of have a chat about obviously what you are currently doing, because you were down here, what is it, a month ago, roughly? And recorded how many songs? How many songs did you do?
Well, we've done all of our songs. Well, 7.
It was 7 songs.
Yeah.
Yep.
We haven't really, pushed a lot of music into ourselves. We've just kind of tried to build what we already have and let everyone hear that before we start writing everything else. But we came down to Oracle Sound and done a live recording, made a video out of it for Lost Cause,
which is on your Facebook.
Yeah, and which everyone's given us a lot of good feedback about.
Sounds great. Shout out to Jay as well.
Yeah, Jay. But yeah, we so we've done that, and the plan was just to use that as some new material to put out on our social media, because we've been a little bit quiet. But like as I said, we don't want to go out there and just shove heaps and heaps of music into everyone's face every time we play a gig, releasing new music that, people already don't know our other music. So that was the plan at the start. Was we had so many songs written, we utilized these, play a certain amount of shows. We've probably gone a little bit too far with it anyways.
Yeah, we've milked that cow probably.
Yeah. So, we've got Storm Rider Festival coming up in July 10.
Storm Rider.
Shout out to all the bands there. And we'll finally be releasing another single for that, Nail Bomb. Yes. Which a couple of certain people have heard, some very close friends. Few. Yeah, privileged few.
VIPs.
And I think it's going to be a curb stomper. Probably one of our best ones yet, I think.
Will it make it on the playlist?
Once it's recorded properly.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're treating this as just content you're putting out there, like freebies.
Nail Bomb, we have not released anything of yet. The boys at home have done their thing, and we've got it between ourselves, and just shared it with a couple of very close friends of ours just to get some feedback. But the feedback is obviously really, really good. And we will be releasing that single for Storm Rider.
Yep.
I'm really, really excited about it actually.
I can't wait to play something new. We've flogged the same set for a while now, so but we have been getting better. Definitely heard feedback saying like saw us X amount of shows ago, but this one fucking heaps tighter and sounding better. So
good. Good.
Yeah, I guess that's the beauty of playing the same set. You just keep getting it, so it's
just getting dialed in. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
I think we're still a newish band.
Yeah.
Sort of. We've been around for a couple of years, but we still haven't played that many gigs.
Well, maybe tell us how you guys started and how long ago that is.
Actually started myself and Lucas, our lead guitarist, used to play in another band like several years ago, Vipera. It never really took off, but I met Lucas through that, and after that, me and Lucas hadn't talked for probably 3 or 4 years, and then it just randomly come up I started getting back into drumming because I took a hiatus after I played in some other bands. I took a hiatus and messaged Lucas and said, "Hey man, I'm because I was going up to a studio, Super Freak Studios up in Joondalup, just playing some drums by myself, just getting back into it." And I said to Lucas, like, "Hey man, you're just around the corner. Do you want to have a jam?" He's like, "Oh yeah, sweet." And then that jam kind of progressed into, we started writing a couple of songs, and the first song we actually wrote was "War on Us All." And then when we wrote that, I was like, "Oh shit, hang on a sec. Do you want to kind of, keep this thing going?" And so we both agreed. We tried to find a bass player. We went through hell and back. We went through fucking absolute crackheads to church junkies to like,
it's a thing.
Real junkies to church junkies.
Hashtag church drunkies.
Oh, dude, we went through some absolute belters of people trying to find just the bass player itself. That's the one thing that we wanted to find first, was a bass player. And then we put an ad out, and then we already had one song as just a demo track, which is "War on Us All," and our bass player Cam sent us a message saying that he liked what he heard, and wanted to meet up. So yeah, he came around to my place, and he showed us what he got. He pretty much just put on the video of Power Metal Supreme and Silent Night. Even though he brought his bass, I was like, "What the fuck am I trying to play bass for? I'll just put this on for you and I'll show you." We watched that and I was like, "Yep, sweet. Good to go."
Okay, we need to up our game.
Yeah. Absolute warrior on the bass.
Yeah.
So yeah, we had that. We had another guitarist, Lucas's old mate Scott, who was actually part of Vipera as well. But he didn't have time, and he just wanted to step away from music. So we're kind of a little bit in the dark with, having another rhythm guitarist and also a singer. So I put another ad out, just purely looking for a singer, and I was looking for a certain sound. I loved the sound of like Corey Taylor from Stone Sour. That's the sort of vocal range I wanted to try and go for, where he actually has that growl but can utilize his vocal range.
Yep.
And then Alex.
I think you actually responded to, like, I'd said something about, there was a Rob Zombie thing. Someone was asking about Rob, if someone could do like Rob Zombie vocals or something, and I think I'd responded saying, "Yeah, I could probably do some Rob Zombie vocals or something." And then I think you saw that and you were just like, "Hey, bro, are you interested?" Like, yeah. And I'm just like, yeah, because at that stage, my band had sort of previous band Service Summer just dissolved for a while and just been sort of hadn't been doing much. So I was like, "Oh yeah, I can see what's going on." And yeah, went down and they sent me like War on Us All and Lost Cause. They all had like weird names back then before I sort of they gave me
Was it all like working titles or something?
No. One of the actual songs was called Six Bacon Deluxe.
What was he called again? Sorry.
Six Bacon Deluxe.
Six Bacon Deluxe. Lucas actually put that name on from.
I've got a piss, but I'll be back.
Yeah, he put that name on from a drive-through experience when he was going through Hungry Jack's, and he tried to put this order through. He wanted 6 Bacon Deluxes, and this person couldn't hear him. And like 6 Bacon Deluxe, 6 Bacon. So he used that as a song title for one of our songs. It was just a rough song that we had, and we had stupid names to it. So 6 Bacon Deluxe was the Lost Cause song. As Alex was saying, it was a bit of a fucking weird name. He's like, "What the hell is this?"
I mean, that's a title that people would remember way more than, like some doom name, you know what I mean? Like,
well, 6 Bacon Deluxe.
Hey guys, can you play 6 Bacon Deluxe, man?
Well, you could even use that as band name.
You could do some sick merch, man. Just have a lot of like burgers and like a big fat guy with like fucking mayonnaise everywhere and like salad and.
But yeah, I mean,
a church junkie or something.
Yeah.
Yep.
But like, yeah, we finally met up with Alex and we asked him to. So we sent him the demos. We're like, if you can put some vocals to this, or at least to one song. The first one was "War on Us All," which we didn't have a title to at the stage. It was just a self-titled song. So we sent him the demo and say, hey, if you can put some vocals to this, show us what you got, and then come in and have a practice. And yeah, he wrote some vocals and came in. And I remember the first day he came in because I love my beer, as everyone can see. I love my beer. And then he rocked up for his first jam session. And so the other boys in the band, they'll have a beer here and there. But I'm a fish. And then he rocks up. And I'm like, hey, you want a beer? He's like, yep. And then I met a brother who loves to drink. He's like, nah, fuck it. Who cares? Who cares what he's like, man? He's in the band, man. Because I need a drinking buddy.
Yeah.
But like, he's got an awesome voice, man. His vocal range is amazing. And it just writes itself because like each song that we write, his vocal range just changes here and there, and it's completely different. And that's what I love about it. Like, it has so much diversity in the music that we write, and his vocal range as well. And especially with this song "Nail Bomb" that's coming out as well. Another thing that's just blown my mind, and it just gave me a fucking stiffy straight away as soon as I heard it. I was like,
You heard it here first.
but he sent me a one of his old tracks from Service Sum. He's like, hey, listen to this song to see if this is what you're looking for. And I listened to it straight away. I was like, bam. It just blew my mind. I was like, it's so hard to find someone that can use their vocal range like that. You know, have a scream here and there, but actually sing.
Yeah.
That's what I loved about Alex.
Well, again, if you can do Man in the Box, man, that is like one of the ultimate tests. You see so many videos on YouTube about people that are sort of trying to nail that one.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Absolutely love Man in the Box too.
There's another thing I've written down here. I would love to hear the story behind your band name, but maybe before we do that, I would love to hear a little story that Alex brought up just before. That was, I think that sort of goes back a little bit further.
Okay, so
because that was a pretty cool band name too.
16, 17. So we had two bands back in high school, but same members. But so we basically we had our serious band. I think we were called Flesh Wound, and then we were called Violence or something.
Flesh Wound.
And then but we're always finding that we're writing all this like joke shit music, and we were just like, okay, we need an outlet for this. So we created this band called Anal Explosion. And it was like, and so we just literally we had one of those Casio tape recorders. We just shoved it in the middle of the jam room. We wrote a whole bunch of just like fucking feral lyrics. And then we just hit record, and we just go, and fucking drummer just go, and then we'd just make the whole song up on the spot, and I'd just be reading off the sheet of lyrics, just screaming like a girl, like blood curdling screams. I can't even do them anymore. And that classic was like wanking over your mum, and so there was a song with a drummer that, like I played like a 4-string acoustic. He was playing on fucking pots and pans, and it was just crap. But we ended up, there was a talent competition at I was at boys' college, and then there was girls' college up the road, and so the girls' college were putting on a combined talent show, and then so the girls' college came down to the boys' college, like the few like seniors or whatever, and they were like, judging to see who that led into the competition. So we entered both of our bands. So we had our serious band, so we played fucking like "You Don't Deserve to Live," and fucking, and then we came out again, and we just dressed up, and we had our mate who he wasn't even in the band. We were just like, bro, just get up on stage and like in your kilt and just fucking run around and just be an idiot. So he did that, And so we played Anal Explosion, and
That's fucked up.
But that's like did they have a list and say, next one up we've got Anal Explosion?
Okay. So yeah, they did know, and they were like they didn't. The thing is, after we'd played, they go, okay, so we can only let one of your bands in, and as much and it's kind of up to you guys. Like, we really liked your serious band, yeah, that was cool. But personally, we would think it would be really cool if it was Anal Explosion, and we just looked at each other and were just like, Anal Explosion, it is.
You got this stamp of approval.
That's fucked up.
So, and then we're actually at the Bay Theatre, like a proper theatre that has an orchestra pit, and that's where we played. Like, to all the mums and dads that came down and stuff, and I was wearing a girls' college skirt with the Bay. Did I have the star on? I don't know. One of us.
And you're having to go about me liking Post Malone. Like, come on.
This is Anal Explosion, man.
Yeah.
This is.
So you know how, like, at one of those things that have big golden stars. We grabbed one of those golden stars and used sellotape and stuck it to one of our butts, and we were waving it in people's faces, singing a song about a gay motorcycle gang. and it, the best part was that there was the guy and he was playing piano and singing, and then he had this chick and they were singing this duet, and it was all beautiful and stuff, and they thought they were surefire winners until they announced the winner. And it was us. We fucking won. We were just like, I'm just sitting there, and then when they had to change our name to Annalie for the
really?
Yeah, they changed it, but how they spelt it in the newspaper was anal with 2 E's at the end, so it was Annalie. So
I think there's a big missed opportunity here.
Yeah.
I mean, mate, it's the newspaper.
Opportunity for an anal explosion.
We won $1,000.
Hey, it's a band name that people remember. I tell you that.
I went down to the tracks. I bought a fucking Emperor beanie. I bought a whole bunch of CDs, and then we went down to our homeless mate down the road, and he went across the road to the liquor land and bought us a fucking bottle of Jim Beam Black, because we're used to drinking like Kentucky Gold or normal Jim Beam, but we were just like, nah, boys, we're splashing out. We're getting Jim Beam Black.
What year was this?
2002, 2003.
This is so good, man. This is so good. Could you imagine doing that today? Could you imagine like the uproar that would be like if someone came up and had a band called Anal Explosion? You dress up because you were dressed up as girls or something.
Yeah, and the drummer
singing
the drummer
about
was wearing a
gay
girls'
bikers
netball skirt. The bass player was wearing one of his mum's dresses. I had a McDonald's hat with my hair done up in a bun up the top under the hat, but then I had the mullet hanging out. I had my dad's brown leather jacket from the 80s.
Jesus Christ.
I don't know. And backstage, the drummer had this duck whistle thing, and he was just like he's out the back flapping his arms going, rah, rah, rah.
But the thing is, like, see stuff like this. You wouldn't be able to do that today. First of all, it'll be.
I think maybe we should actually write a song called "Anal Explosion" now, eh?
Well, the thing is, like obviously, like instantly, it'd be all over. It'll be all over the internet and whatnot. Like, if this is early 2000s, this is before social media. This is before smartphones. Like, this is before so many things that we have to have today. But again. I mean, clearly you guys did something right. Like, if you got into the newspapers and
you might as well also call yourself Red Rags or something like that, you know.
What happened to the band after though? Like, why is Anal Explosion no more?
We have we have never said that it is disbanded. We're always
you're on hiatus.
Yeah, it's just indefinite hiatus. I think the last song we ever made together, which was actually made like I was over here, I think, and the drummer's in Melbourne.
I'm sensing a comeback.
Yeah.
I think this might be the time for the reunion. Yeah. It's a good time. You're like you could aim for like a 20-year reunion. What's that? Next year, the year after. Yeah.
Wanking over your mum's 20th anniversary.
that sounds like it's a perfect first single. Oh man,
We're going MA with this podcast.
I was about to say, Jake, that beats the Six Bacon Deluxe, man. Those song titles are next level. A lot of people are being put to shame right now, in so many ways.
We had a Wanking Over Your Mum Christmas edition, and we literally took the song and we just put Christmas bells that weren't even in time. It just went over the song and re-released it.
Jay next door would actually love to fucking hear this shit right now, eh? He's into some fucked up shit, so.
But the thing is, how would you release it back then, though? Because again, this is before Spotify and
so
YouTube.
We just got done the burnable CDs. Just bought like 20.
Right.
Burn them, and I made the CD covers in Microsoft Paint, and I used to just draw like an ass with like a shit coming out of it.
Have you? So that means that there is recordings of this.
Yeah, somewhere. Like
I want to hear this. Shit.
I want to hear. You said shit. No pun intended.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, I think if you can find that, I think the world needs. I want to hear that. Jag want to hear it. I'm sure there's other people that want to hear this, man. This is.
I haven't heard it.
Anal Explosions is coming back. I think this was meant to be. This was the right time.
Tuned.
Yeah. Maybe there's a good chance of
resurgence.
Maybe there's a good chance of Midnight Furnace to actually support, because I think that might be the way here.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we support anyone. Yeah. Whatever.
So.
Yeah.
But that is.
Be a fuck fest that no, that's.
I'm absolutely in love with that story. There's so many more details than when we briefly discussed it before going live, man. But that's when and even but like the best part of this is that there is something out there. There is a recording. How do we get that recording? How can we?
I've got to ask. Do you actually like anal?
Oh, now I think. Should we mute it? Should we just mute for a little bit here? Cut to ads.
We're having some technical difficulties.
Oh, come on, it's a fair question.
Well, back in the anal explosion days, we were too young to fucking.
Yeah, you never went there as a young bloke, eh? It's like, too scary. No. One hole's goal. That's it.
That's it. Well, maybe we should try and fast forward a little bit and go back to saying, because again, my other question was like, how did Midnight Furnace? How did you settle on that name, and how did that come about? Because actually, I've got a short little story before we get into that. Earlier today, I was trying to tag you guys, and I tagged someone on Instagram that I thought was you. And it turned out, I was about to say, my phone is charging at the moment. I tagged someone called like Renegade Poet, who's got the handle midnight_furnace on Instagram. So
it's funny, if you Google Midnight Furnace, well, it usually comes up with us at the start, but there's just like all sorts of different shit that comes under. The actual name, I remember I was actually at a pub with my mates. I was out on the town having some beers, and me and Lucas still hadn't thought of a band name yet. But we wanted something with like some heat in there, some fire. And we jotted around some names and blah blah. But I remember when I got the message from Lucas, he's like, "Oh, what about Midnight Furnace? Because furnace, fire, heat, everything like that." We like something dark, midnight. And I was like, oh yeah, no, it's got a catch to it. And then I showed my mates, and we're at the pub. Their thing was, oh, sounds a little bit Red Light District, doesn't it? So,
really?
Yeah. They're like, oh,
Red Light District.
Yeah, like fucking sort of brothel sort of shit.
Okay.
Come down to Midnight Furnace.
Like literally,
we love you long time.
I was out with my mates, Daryl and Dick. Oh, funny Dick. I was out with some Dick that night.
Hey.
But no, I was out with them, and I showed them the name. They're like, oh yeah, it sounds a little bit Red Light District. It's like, nah, you know what? I actually quite like it. So I said to Lucas, like, well, if you can come up with a cool logo for it, then it'll be all good for it. Otherwise, I'm not stuck. And then, he come up with some different logos, and then that one's the one that came through. And so it stuck, yeah. It was just a bit of a random thing, yeah.
Here we logo.
There's the logo there.
There's the logo.
Well,
for you.
to be honest, that's the first time I've actually heard the story because I fucking had no idea.
Yeah.
It was just-
This is before your time, maybe.
yeah, it was.
It was before his time.
Yep.
I
And
never asked. So I was like, how'd you come up with the name? So I was like, that's the name.
but that's the thing. Like, I mean, the name's out there now, and everyone, well, a lot
That's
of
it.
people do know it.
That's it.
But yeah, me and Lucas were very stuck. It took probably near on a month to come up with a name, and every name that would come up was like, shit, gay, nah, fuck that, no way,
Anal explosion.
Anal explosion.
Nah. No
and
good.
then we came up with Red Light District. So it's like, yeah, everyone loves sex. Happy days.
Happy days, man.
But yeah, so Midnight Furnace stuck, and obviously then we come across these guys. So and but I mean, that's the logo we've stuck with. It's a little bit different. It's a little bit robotic, and a little bit straight, but it's different.
And at least,
you can read it. It's not.
Yeah, you can actually read it.
but Luke, I mean, it's cool. You guys actually have a logo. A lot of bands just have, you know, the.
Oh, so actually, if you can show that
the
logo,
writing.
the
We'll get it over
actual
here, yeah.
logo down below your belly.
Boy.
So that's-
Oh, that logo.
Yes. Yeah, so that skull there with the MF in there, my mate Bo from As Light Decays actually drew that by hand whilst me and him were having a beer at the pub in about 5 minutes. So he's a tattoo artist, and it was the actual first night that I went out with Bo. The first night I met Bo was we were running a gig. As Light Decays were going to play. And then I found out that Bo lived around the corner. So me and him caught up for a beer. And then somehow we ended up in Perth that night. And on the way, I got a phone call from my mate Dick again. He's like, oh yeah, come to the strip club. I was like, oh yeah, sweet as. And Bo was like, hey, yeah, is your missus going to be okay with it? And then my missus called at the same time. I was like, oh, where are you going? I was like, oh, we're going to a strip club. Oh. And then Bo's like, oh, you should go home to your missus. I was like, no, we're going to a strip club. Anyways, we got to the pub, and I was like, look, I've heard that you're a drawer, you're a tattoo artist. If you can, I want to get an actual, like, you know, a picture for our band, you know, a logo of some sort. And then he asked what I wanted. I was like, you know, some skulls of some sort, blah, blah, with some MF. Midnight Furnace.
Motherfucker.
Motherfucker,
Some
yeah.
MF, man.
Motherfucker. And then he literally come up with that. I literally put down my beer. I went to the toilet for a piss. And I came back and he had 3/4 of that done already. So, and then he obviously finalized and everything like that. Yeah. So that's where that part came from.
Well, that's again, like, obviously, like tattoo artists, you know, that's their jam. You know, they're good at drawing, man. Like some are exceptionally good at drawing.
Yeah.
I mean, you got a couple of tats. Have you got any tattoos as well?
Yeah. I got shit. Hang on.
Oh, here we go. Hold my beer.
Yeah. Actually, I'm just gonna go for the piss part.
I got the old Justice for All.
Oh, Metallica tribute. Lars is watching. He'd be proud. We've got Lars up here.
It's actually
up here in the back.
After hearing the Black Album, instead of buying the Black Album myself, I went and bought that one.
And Justice for All.
Yeah. Fucking classic album.
What was your thoughts on that?
I mean, back when I was 12, when I was listening to it, obviously I could hear that there was something sort of different about the production.
Well, there's no bass.
There's no bass, but yeah.
Welcome to the band. We're gonna turn your instrument down.
Not to be audible on this recording, but yeah, no, I mean, it's the drums and it's everything and the rhythm guitars is just so punchy that you can hear everything. Like everything's crystal clear, but there's just no bass.
It's so funny because same as you, I started on Black Album and sort of went in somewhat weird order backwards from there. I think I went back to Master of Puppets. I think that was the first album I listened to after Black Album. But I was sort of every old album I went back to, I was sort of I was hoping it was going to have that same production value of Black Album, you know, which is like so crisp and like you can just hear they've spent so much money and so long.
Yeah.
I think they spent like a year and a half in the studio or something like that. It's stupid. But yeah, like going back and listening to some of the older albums and then obviously now we're a bit older and we look into it and stuff, sort of see how that's recorded compared to Black Album. Yeah, because I don't know if you knew this, but they're like the first 4 albums are recorded in Denmark.
Yeah.
By a Danish producer at a Danish studio and blah blah blah.
Kill 'Em All, that was recorded in New York.
Yeah. I think it might be, but it's definitely still mixed in Sweet Silence in Denmark. Otherwise, you can look that up and confirm it. But yeah, you can kind of tell after And Justice Fall, it was like maybe we need to try something else because I thought that album production wise like really lacked something as well.
Yeah. I just love the songs and the riffs.
The songs are magnificent, man. Harvest of Sorrow and
like the tab book and everything. So I learned it all. Note for note and everything. But then once it's nothing getting past that Black Album production. That's just sort of big stereo.
Well, again, they sort of stuck with Bob Rock after that as well. You know, they did the next 2, the Load and Reload, and then I think they got
they use them.
They had Andy.
Saint Anger was Bob Rock's last.
Fuck Saint Anger, man. Sorry, man.
Song. So what the fuck were they thinking?
That was just literally like, do you want to go downhill and kill yourself?
But the thing is, I don't even think that was Bob Rock's call. I think it was just a matter of, you know, Lars wanted that crazy snare drum.
That was Lars. That was like with And Justice for All. Lars, he came in with this fucking EQ
and
that
changing his snare drum.
He was like, I want the EQs of all my to be like this, and then.
I just remember when he came out and you heard that ping ping. I was like, "What is happening? Surely this is a demo or something, man." Like,
it's pretty much the pinnacle of like actually slitting your throat. That's what I thought of Saint Anger. It's like, do you actually want to kill yourself? Because that's what you've just done. You've just lost so many fucking fans.
Yeah, I think if you have to give them some sort of credit, they were experimenting. They were trying to do something new, or on drums anyway.
Yeah,
but
from what I've seen. They're trying to go mainstream. Let's change ourselves and try and go mainstream and do what everyone else thinks that we should be doing. It's like,
they kind of did that on Black Album. I think that's when they had a big sort of separation in the fans because they had a lot of people that were sort of saying they were sellouts and they were, you know, like they were trying to go mainstream, you know. But people gave them shit too after they released one, like the music video because they're the first music video they released.
Yeah, you said you wouldn't sell out for MTV and all that.
But at the end of the day, man, same as anything else, man, it became a massive business for them. You know, like that took them 10-20-fold to where they were before. Like they went from selling, I don't know how many albums they sold of the first 4, but Black Album still to this date, you know, still selling.
Black Album's the best.
The other albums after that, like Load and Reload, I must admit I quite enjoyed those.
Yeah,
Saint Anger,
definitely later.
Not so much. Some Kind of Monster had some cool songs on it too. But anyway, Lars is watching, so you gotta. He's up there, man. What do you think about Lars anyway? Except obviously
it's really funny that you say that because like
we just covered the fact that we don't like his snare drum. I think that's the whole world agrees.
he's one of my main influences as a drummer. Him, Joey Jordison, and Chris Adler are my main influences. Yeah,
Chrissy.
Yeah. Oh, the best, man.
Loving the splash.
Chris Adler is more of my like up to date influence.
Yeah, it's like the newer era, the modern metal.
Oh, it's just so good. And yeah, you're talking about splashes and stuff like that.
He loves to splash.
Oh, so do I. It's funny if you see my kit and everyone's like, "Oh, have you got enough splashes?" I'm like, no, I don't. I fucking need more.
Yeah.
But I love rolling on them, man. And yeah, Chris Adler, dude, the best, man. But yeah, Lars Ulrich, Joey Jordison were my 2 main influences growing up as a drummer. And like especially Lars. And then yeah, when Saint Anger came out, I was like,
It still lasts though. It's just
No, it wasn't.
yeah, it is, man. It's just a snare
man.
that sounds weird. It's just a snare that sounds
Fucking
weird.
shit.
So,
Like seriously, man. Like, come on. Like,
what about other? So, like talking about influences and stuff. Like what you mentioned obviously some of your early influences, stuff that you were listening to. But what are you sort of doing as a band? Like what? Like because I think when I looked up on Facebook earlier, it said that you guys were influenced by there's some Pantera, some Deftones, and mixed with some rocky stuff and stuff. So. When you're writing the songs as Midnight Furnace, we're not talking about Anal Explosion anymore. But as Midnight Furnace, like what sort of reference points or what sort of bands would you sort of say that you're drawing your inspiration from?
I think maybe it just varies. Like depends. Like Nail Bomb or whatever. I mean, Lucas kind of came up with all the riffs and stuff. I've kind of had a slight influence on changing a bit of chords here and there just so I can sing a melody and stuff in the chorus. But I think that like
I don't think our band really has an influence.
Yeah, it's not like
I'm sorry, but people say that, and I think that was written just as a guideline.
Right.
We sound like.
Because I even sort of think like Pantera. We don't really sound like Pantera. We don't.
I was about to say, like the few clips that I've heard that you have online. Cause I haven't had the opportunity to check you guys out live yet. But yes, didn't really strike me as Pantera sort of influence.
No.
But that doesn't mean I've me can't be influenced by it. Like both, like Dimebag Darrell is one of the biggest legendary guitarists of all time.
When that was written, like I mean, our guitarist Lucas has the most stupid guitar setup that I've ever seen, and he's got like all these Dimebag specials, and then all these jacks and but he obviously loves Pantera.
Yep.
And I think maybe some people get some of our sounds from like maybe Deftones or even sometimes in one of our songs, Tool or something like that. But I don't think we have a main influence that we sound like.
Right.
And I think that's kind of what we have strived to be in terms of like actually being different. I think our music sounds a lot different to what's out there at the moment, and every song that we write is completely different to the other. We have a we've got some groove metal, we've got some thrash metal, we've got some hard rock, we've got some crescendo happening here and there. But you can't really put it into one sort of genre. And that's what I love about it. Like, but in my opinion, whether or not it's Alex's opinion or not, I don't think we really have influences that we write off. It's just what's written is written, and then that's what it sounds like, and that's it. And probably, Alex and Lucas are the main writers of the songs. Me and Cam get given the songs as a guideline, but like, hey, this is what we want. And then we just do our thing. And another one that Alex has come up with that we haven't really put together yet, kind of reminded me of like a little bit of a Static X or something like that. It's fucking weird how our music's written because Yeah,
that's actually the first time I've probably come up with a song for the band from the start. Previously, Lucas has come up with basically the foundation for the music almost like entirely.
Yeah, he's an absolute fucking wizard too. Like seriously, he's an absolute wizard. He just gets in his mind and bam. Like seriously, yeah. And then
I'll just listen to parts, and I mean, I think the first few songs or whatever, he's kind of said, I want you to sing in this part and then this part and this part, and then after that, like with the new one, Nail Bomb or whatever, he just sent it. He didn't give me any guidelines or whatever, and I just went, I'm just gonna sing here. That kind of riff or whatever reminds me of a little bit of Chaos AD, so I'm kind of channeling a little bit of Max in the vocals.
Yeah, wicked.
And then. But then this other riff that he came up with this kind of had a sort of Arabic sort of flavor to it, and then just I don't know. Devin Townsend's a big vocal influence for me as well. So so just sort of going from Max Cavalera to fucking Devin, just swap over. But
that's the beauty of music, man.
Yeah.
Especially when you're writing your own stuff, like you
just do whatever you.
Yep. Like it's.
That's the thing. Like our profile may say, "Oh, this, and this," and that's what people like read off,
Gravitate towards or something.
But like as Alex said, like I don't think any of our shit sounds like
any one thing.
Yeah. It's very hard to put us
in a box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't put a man in a box.
Hey.
You
like that?
So
bring it back again.
So obviously, when we'll talk about your gig. You got some upcoming gigs coming up as well. But what's sort of like the main response you get from people when you do play live? Like do they have any said? Oh man, yeah, that's it sounds like something like. Do they have an idea of like a sound of MF?
No, I don't think everyone's. Yeah, it's just generally like, fuck, that was a fucking sick set. Like
every gig that we play, we have new people listening all the time, and every time that we play, we have more great feedback. And the best part is, like, you know, we're all very you know, very conscious of what we do.
Yep.
Especially myself. Like the guys that I play with are amazing musicians, and I think probably in the band I'm the most hardest on myself. But like every time we play, as Alex said earlier, we get told we're tighter and tighter and tighter, and we've had people that have seen us from the start until now to see that whole transition of where we are. But yeah, as I said, every gig that we play, we have new people watching, we have new followers. And shit, what was the fucking question?
It was like the response that you might get. Like if anyone else has like an idea of something that, because obviously if you're saying
who we sound like,
because again, like if you're this hybrid, this metal rock hybrid,
it's probably like myself and Alex that like probably hear it the most in terms of responses. I don't think I have, and I don't think Alex has, saying that we sounded like this. Probably the only thing that I've ever heard is one of our songs, "Face of Fear." I've been told that's like, you know, got this Tool sound to it, you know, a bit of a Tool beat to it, and this and that. It's probably more because, you know, it's more of an instrumental theme, blah blah.
Yeah, wicked.
But that's probably the only thing I've ever heard. But in terms of feedback, all I ever hear after every gig is like, you know, how tight it is. And this is from start, like from the first gig that we ever played together at Amplifier.
And how long ago was this? The first gig?
2 years ago.
The first gig?
First gig was 2 years ago at Amplifier. We played our bass player, his other band Silent Night, were headlining that one. Yep. And we got asked to play that one as an opener.
It's a long night at the office for him. So.
Yeah. And like even from that night, even though it was my bad that night, I super smashed it out and just played fast as shit. But all these boys on strings and vocals still like kept up. And from that night, we've been told, like, you know, the professional sound that we have and how tight we are, but it's getting better and better. Yep. And the feedback just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
That's what you want.
And especially probably the last gig that we played at Amplifier again, with Prognosis Negative. We played with Hail Mary, Fudge Chicken Mushroom or whatever.
Magic Chicken Fudge Toe.
Magic Chicken, yeah.
Oh, is that...
Magic Chicken Fudge Toe.
Is that a band name?
Yeah. Yes, Magic Chicken Fudge Toe.
Magic Chicken Fudge Toe.
Yes.
Shit, that's hard to say, man. Magic Chicken Fudge Toe.
Last time I played with them was with Service Sum, and that was down at Swan Basement or something. Yeah.
Magic Chicken Fudge Toe.
It's funny because when I rang, I had an interview with Triple M, I remembered every other band name, but theirs, and I'm pretty sure.
That's because it's impossible to pronounce
I'm
that.
fairly certain that I got it wrong. I was like, fudge chicken mushroom or some shit.
Magic chicken fudge dough. That sounds deliberate. We're gonna make up a name here that no one can say without like.
Oh, it's weird. But like
sprain your tongue or something.
Every time I think about it, I just want to have a couple of mushies or something like that. But like that gig, was super tight.
Yep.
Absolutely super tight. But I have a good thing. I haven't mentioned him yet. One of our songs that we play, War on Us All. I have to mention his name, Jamie Gayskull.
Oi!
From As Light Decays.
Drop. I think he
from As Light Decays.
I think he's watching in as well.
He's watching in.
Had a little horn comment earlier.
Horns up.
He actually gets up and does a cameo. He's now part of the song War on Us All.
We can't play that song unless he gets up on stage now.
So he comes up on stage.
Pressure's on.
And does vocals with us for that song. I've tried to do it in the past. It just didn't work. I can't sing and play. And we just needed some more backup. And then I asked Jamie, I think you might have remembered the first gig that we played.
Hey!
Oh, Jay. Hey, come and show your face, Jay.
Come on, say, it's too late now. Too late now.
What is this?
I've just finished up.
Here's Jay.
Here we go.
Here's Jay.
G'day, guys.
Here's
Jay.
Mr. Jay Huxtable. Oh, we just got to focus here. Here we go. Look at him. Oh, it's pretty.
From another mother.
Pretty face. Hey.
What is that? Bloke
Bloke in a bar.
Jesus. Yeah, right.
Bloke in a bar.
That is something different.
You'd like a bloke in a bar. Or a few.
Depends what night it is.
That's a fair bump.
Thursday nights, I'm good to go.
Anything in a bar.
No, man, don't talk about that. No, Jamie.
Jamie.
He does a cameo with us, War on Us All.
Yep.
And without him, the sound would be completely different. So we actually have a video up on Facebook from our last gig at Amplify with him on there.
Which I shared on my Facebook just before we started. So if anyone wants to check it out, they can head over there.
He literally finishes off the song in terms of live.
He's the cream.
Yes, the cream of the crop. He belts it out. And his stage presence as well is absolutely fucking amazing too. So thank you, Jamie, if you're still watching. I love you, brother.
That's it.
Absolutely love you.
Fantastic.
You're a top bloke.
Yeah. I'm just playing water for you, mate. I figured you needed a beer.
Oh, yeah, I did. Yeah.
Anyone else for a beer?
Oh, no.
There you go.
Yeah,
We've got to try and wrap it up soon. So,
Good bloke, mate.
that might be...
Work at stupid fuck o'clock in the morning.
What do you do for work, though?
What
do you do for work?
Armaguard.
You what, sorry?
Armaguard.
Oh, shit. That's a pretty badass job. Have you got a gun?
Yes.
Shit, yeah. That's so...
Yeah, I'm
so
jealous,
badass.
man.
So badass.
Can't use it, though, so it's...
I did ask him one day. I was like, so...
Oh, you probably can if somebody tries to rob you or something.
Yeah.
So, well, all right. Well, look, let us, just because we were talking about live gigs and stuff, come on, tell me and tell the whole world where MF are playing.
So,
drop it like it's hot.
Badlands, July 10th.
Badlands.
Storm Rider, thank you very much.
Storm Rider.
You're a fucking legend for putting us on that bill.
Stu McGill is absolutely amazing. And I'm just going to... Hang on, get this up here. So
Stu, that's a guitarist from Silent Night. Yeah, man. Yep.
He also is the runner of Storm Rider.
Storm Rider
touring.
Storm Rider. It sounds like something like for whatever reason. It just reminds me of Game of Thrones. Like it sounds like a character from Game of Thrones, or like some Diablo of game or something like that. Storm Rider.
Shit. So we got. Hang on a sec.
We are hanging. We
got.
Just keep talking for a sec while I get this up there.
So, twinkle, twinkle, little star. July 10. Here we go. July 10.
So, the Harvest Trail.
Harvest Trail.
The Harvest Trail. Now, these guys are absolutely...
Never heard of her.
And we've got to follow them because we're supposed to be the opener, but I've heard in the grapevine one of the members from the Harvest Trail, one of their mothers has a birthday that night, so they've got to piss off early.
Oh man,
So we've been put on the second. And thank
that's
you, Stu,
nice.
for that.
That's nice to look after.
Yeah,
to look
very
after
nice.
mum.
And it's so good that the Harvest Trail actually, still playing. So the Harvest Trail, us guys,
I actually thought
Icarus Lives, Legacy Alive. I haven't heard them yet, but they
magnificent.
sound really exciting.
I've had them on the chat as well. Go and check it out. It's like episode 40 or something, 50 maybe.
Cold Fate. That's actually a band that actually has another member of Silent Night out of there.
Cam Nicholas.
What were they called? Cold Fate
on vocals.
Cold Fate.
Yeah.
Cold Fate.
Absolutely spastic band. Depravity. Like, fuck me.
Oh, they're playing as well. I gotta go. I missed them. I went down to Metal United and I had to leave.
Man.
And I had to leave early because everything was so like they were like half an hour behind, and I had to go home. Yeah. Anyway, long story. But yeah, I missed them. They were the last band.
Depravity. It's just absolutely fucking.
He was playing that night by himself, and he's got that band Fura. Yeah.
That guy is absolutely spastic, man. Seriously.
Like just completely just went from like doing crazy fart blast beats to just doing like the craziest technical shit and singing at the same time. I was like,
fucking mental.
poof.
So yeah, you got Depravity, Silent Night, obviously Stu and Cam's band, and then big headline is Chaos Divine.
Chaos Divine.
Chaos Divine, really, really honoured to be able to play it.
Share a stage with them.
Yeah, dude. Like, I've seen them live once. We actually went to the same gig.
Yeah.
Remember that one? Yeah.
I've opened for them once. When was that? That was a long time ago. But yeah.
Like a belter of a band, man. And they have played with some huge, huge bands.
Yeah, I was about 6 months ago when I was just sort of wrapping up the the first season, if you like, the first 70 episodes of the podcast. I just got an inquiry to get them on to support their new single or something they were doing back then. And then we've just completely missed it because it was like this took like another 2 months to build, longer than what we expected and stuff. So, but yeah, I got to reach out to them and say, man, and see if they want to come up for a chat because yeah, I've really enjoyed their latest album.
I've asked them a few times to headline a gig because I love to put gigs together myself. Most of our gigs we've put together ourselves.
Yep.
And they've been pretty successful. I've hit them up a couple of times. They're just super busy all the time.
But now it's happening, man. It's
but yeah, we get to play them now, but that lineup for Stormrider is fucking huge.
That's pretty spectacular for a Perth event to have that lineup for sure, man.
It's gonna be a
good mix of different genres as well.
There's something for everyone, man.
Fantastic,
Absolutely,
man. Guys. Very last thing before we wrap up, where should people go and check you out? Because obviously, I know you got a Facebook and you maybe have an Instagram. I tagged the wrong person for sure.
There's a link. There's a link to Bandcamp.
I've got the links. I've got the link. The links are in the description anyway. So if you're watching this, it's all down there. I don't think I've got the SoundCloud down there, but I've got the other one, so they can go down there and check it out.
We've got SoundCloud. You just go onto Midnight Furnace on Facebook. We have a SoundCloud link on there. That's actually all we have at the moment because we're lazy as shit.
We're working on it.
You're getting.
I'm not tech savvy. I don't know about that.
But you're getting tighter live. Now you just need to tune up your social media game.
Yeah, we're gonna start getting out there more.
That's it.
Watch this space.
That's it. We're gonna get you guys back when you got a single ready, and then we'll have a chat about social media.
All right.
Sick, man. Thanks a lot, guys. You got to go home and load your gun and go and protect some shit. Wicked. Thanks a lot, guys. Thanks everyone for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you guys next week.